All right, so I want to talk to you today about my journey from being skinny fat to being ripped 24/7 for the last 4.5 years. So let me just drink my coconut real quick. It's part of body life here. Getting my electrolytes in. So I want to talk to you about my story. So a lot of people look at me and they're like, "Oh wow, you're so ripped, man. I want to look like you." Everyone says this to me. There's nothing new, right? But I didn't always look like this. Didn't always have a six-pack effortlessly. I wasn't always in great health. Didn't always have lots of energy. So back 4.5 years ago, almost 5 years ago, come June this year, it'll be 5 years, I've been healthy, right? Taking my health seriously. But for 27 years, I never took my health seriously. I was a typical internet marketer, sitting down at my desk, 12 hours a day, working, and my ex-girlfriend, she was a yoga teacher. And I can count on one hand, out of the 7 years I was with her, the amount of times that I actually did yoga, right? I didn't place any importance on moving my body or, being healthy. I'll do some push-ups here and there, some pull-ups here and there, but nothing consistent, right? And that's the thing, I was not consistent. I didn't have the environment to support me, and, all my friends were the same as me. They were not consistent. Whenever they felt like working out, they'd work out. And of course, that's why I didn't also. So what happened in my life that made me really focus on improving my health? Because like I told you, I wasn't healthy for 27 years. Like I didn't place a massive importance on my health. Granted, when I was 18, I got in shape after 3 months of being coached by the guy in the year above me. But after that, I tried to get back into working out, but I didn't, right? I didn't for 9 years. So what happened? How did I start getting into shape again? How did I start becoming healthy? Why did I become so passionate about health and helping other people with their health? Well, it all started when one of my friends came to hang out with me, and he was much more shredded than me. He had more muscle mass. He had a great business. He had a great family. He had a son, and he spoke 4 languages, and basically everything in his life to me seemed perfect, right? And I was like, wow, this guy is really, really amazing. And he really inspired me just by who he was, just by him shining his light, right? And he didn't actually twist my arm to come to the gym. He just said, hey, come work out with me. And at the time, I wasn't working out consistently. And I was just, doing my own thing here and there, like I just said, like doing some push-ups here and there, whenever I felt like it, downloading the latest workout app. And, I remember there was one called S Work It. And I would do like an exercise, like a workout program from that app, and then feel really accomplished, and then not do it for another 2 weeks. But that was how sporadic my attitude was, my training was. I wasn't consistent with anything, and I didn't actually know what to do. So anyway, he comes to hang out with me, and we're just chatting, and all of a sudden he says, hey, come to the gym. And I remember the gym he took me to, it was $15 for a day pass. Now in Southeast Asia, that's a lot of money, $15 for a day pass, right? And I was like, dude, we can just work out in the park outside for free. And he's like, nah, dude, I want to have some air conditioning. So I was like, all right. So anyway, we go in there and we have a tour. Before we pay, we have a tour of the gym. And we're walking through the gym. And then, like when people are working out and then you're looking at the mirror and you're lifting your dumbbells. And all of a sudden you look up at the mirror and then literally this is what happened. We were walking through the gym, me and my friend. And this guy was lifting weights and he looked up at the mirror. And he literally did a double take, looked at the mirror again, and then turned his head to look back. Like literally, when I was walking through the gym with my friend, it was almost like walking through the gym with like The Rock or some fitness celebrity. Like everyone was just in awe of his physique, right? And no one was looking at me, no one was talking to me. All the attention was focused on him. So my ego was hurt in that moment. I felt like, I wasn't the man that I wanted to be. Like I felt like powerless. I wanted that power, that respect that you get just from your physical appearance. Before you even open your mouth, people are respecting you because of how you look. Like I wanted that. And I realized before that, I didn't realize that I needed that. I didn't need it, but I wanted it. And I wasn't made aware of it until I hung out with someone who was, had the body that I wanted to have. Because before he came to hang out with me, my whole mindset about people who looked like he did was, oh, they live in the gym. Of course he looks like that because he works out every single day and he spends like 2-3 hours in the gym. And I was like, That was my mindset, and that was literally what stopped me from getting the results, because I created a story that wasn't true that prevented me from doing the work, right? And this is what most people do. They create stories about why they can't get the result, and thus they don't have the result, and they never do, and they just surround themselves with people that also believe in that same bullshit story. They're like, yeah, they live in the gym, and then they're all fat and overweight. I didn't want to be that guy anymore, you know? And it just didn't. So anyway, started working out with him, and he started teaching me about what he was doing to get his body, right? And then afterwards, he was like, hey, let's go and eat. And so I went to eat with him, and I remember, like, what I ordered and what he ordered was completely different, like completely different. I ordered a bunch of carbohydrates, like very minimal protein, and he ordered the opposite. He was ordering like a ton of meat and pretty much no carbs and no vegetables. And I was like, bro, don't you eat vegetables? He's like, nah, bro, that's what my food eats. I was like, oh my God, this guy's crazy. But then I put two and two together. I was like, all right, well, he eats a lot of meat and he trains like this and he looks like that. Okay, so maybe I should do that and then I'll have the similar results. Fucking simple, right? So that's what I did. I started eating like him. I started doing the fasting, intermittent fasting. He was fasting for at least 16 hours a day, every single day. Sometimes it would be 18 hours or 20 hours every single day. And he would train at the end of his fast to boost his human growth hormone. And then he would eat after his workout. And he would eat lots of high protein foods. Simple formula. So let me say that again for those who missed it. The formula for getting ripped, which is what I've been doing for the last almost 5 years now. When it comes to June this year, it'll be 5 years. The formula for getting ripped and increasing testosterone naturally, improving your health, all that stuff. First of all, you need to start doing intermittent fasting. That's what I've been doing now every single day. Everyone asks me about this. This is one of my main secrets, right? I'm giving you my secrets right now. Like, you ain't paying no money for this, but this is what I teach my clients, right? Number one, we're going to intermittent fast every single day, okay? So, don't eat one meal. So, for example, most people are eating breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Most people are eating very low protein, very low fat, high carbohydrates, right? This is why most people have cravings and most people snack after their meals, because their insulin's always high. When the insulin's high, your body can't burn fat. So step one is to intermittent fast, right? So that means eating your meals in an 8-hour window at least every single day. So for me, what it looks like is typically I eat my first meal at 1 o'clock, eat my last meal at 8 o'clock, right? So that's pretty much my window, a 7-hour window. That works well for me, right? So I eat a massive meal at 1 o'clock and then a massive meal at 8 o'clock and I'm done. 2 meals a day, that's it, right? People that, you can eat 3 meals a day if you want, but that's pretty much how that works, right? And then you can start, when you get better at that, you can start expanding your fasting window. So you can go 18 hours without eating and eat your meals in a 6-hour window. So it could be, let's say, 2 o'clock till 8 p.m. and eat all your food in that window, and then you don't eat the next day. You don't eat until the next day at 2 o'clock, okay? And your body gets used to this, right? And if you're not used to that right now, if you're not fasting right now, then what I suggest, which is what I did, is I pushed breakfast back an hour every day. So let's say if you're starting brand new right now, you're starting intermittent fasting, what you would do is you wake up, normally you eat breakfast at 8 o'clock. Okay, tomorrow you eat breakfast at 9 o'clock. And then the next day, 10 o'clock. Next day, 11. And all of a sudden you get to 1 p.m. and you haven't eaten food, right? And of course, there's lots of protocols around this, like black coffee, sparkling water, stuff like that. Coconut technically breaks your fast. But like me, if you've been doing this for so long, like you can still have the coconut and you'll be fine. So what else? Okay, that's step one, intermittent fasting, right? So 16-8. So you're eating your meals in an 8-hour block of time. So let's say 12 till 8. Okay, so that's when you're eating, 12 till 8. You're not eating breakfast, okay? And also adding to that, you can train fasted as well. So I do jiu-jitsu in the mornings at 9 a.m. I'm training fasted. I haven't eaten anything before I train jiu-jitsu. Okay, so that's another thing. Training fasted will actually accelerate your fat loss, okay? Now, there's obviously nuances to this, like some women can't fast because it disrupts their adrenal glands and stuff like that. If you're already really, really stressed, adding fasting to someone who's already really, really stressed is not a smart idea. But this is what we go into in my coaching. If you want to apply, you can go to healthmastery.net and you can check out the presentation I've got, which goes into more detail about what I'm talking about. So that's step one, fasting, right? And step number two is you want to start doing step number 2 is eating nutrient-dense food, okay? Nutrient-dense food, what do I mean by that? Well, I mean food that is going to give you the most nutrients. When I say nutrients, I mean micronutrients, like the vitamins, the minerals, like magnesium, calcium, vitamin A, vitamin D, vitamin E, vitamin K, the fat-soluble nutrients, A, D, E, and K, okay? You need to be eating fat with those, right? Also, what is next? So all the other vitamins, right? So for example, red meat. People that don't eat red meat are not getting B12 and zinc, right? So if you don't eat, for example, I'll talk about vegans real quick because it's a great example. So if you're a vegan, you're not getting vitamin B12, right? You cannot get vitamin B12 from plants. And this is going to be a massive, massive indicator of how much energy you have throughout the day, okay? You need that energy. Vitamin B12, all the B vitamins, as a matter of fact, are going to give you a lot of energy, okay? And also zinc, okay? Zinc is crucial for males, especially for testosterone and also for fertility, okay? And sperm production. So if you've got low libido, chances are you're probably low on zinc. So you're not eating oysters, you're not eating red meat, okay? And this is probably why you got low libido. People that, some of my clients, they report to me and they say, hey man, I got crazy sex drive now. I don't know how it's happening. And I have to explain to them, it is because you're eating this way. You're eating food that's high in nutrients, okay? And the plus side of eating nutrient-dense food is you don't need to count your calories, okay? Now, the whole calories thing is a massive topic, but essentially, calories matter, but you don't need to count your calories if you're eating nutrient-dense food. So the only reason why people want to, count calories is because they're eating food that is just energy, okay? You have energy, and then you have nutrients. Most people are eating excess energy, which is why they're eating all the time, and which is why they feel like they need to constantly eat, and they have no energy and all that kind of stuff. And they feel like the energy is from the food. Well, yes, that's partly true, but, nutrients, if you're eating nutrient dense, you don't need to worry about calories. So people that only eat energy have to worry about calories because you can easily overeat energy. I can easily overeat carbohydrates. I can easily overeat cookies, ice cream. It's very easy to overeat energy. That's what it is. Carbohydrate, all the refined foods, croissants, cakes, bagels, this is all energy. There's no nutrients there. Okay, when you eat red meat, when you eat raw milk, when you eat butter, when you eat oysters, fish, this is nutrient-dense food. You're getting all the vitamins and minerals from these foods that are going to help your body balance out the hormones, which is super key to actually losing weight. See, when you're eating lots of energy, you're forced to count the calories. And that's why you see fluctuating results, right? But see me, I don't have to watch my weight. My weight is stable because I'm eating nutrient-dense foods. I'm not counting calories, okay? So that's a big, big deal. Nutrient-dense food, okay? Making sure that the food you're eating is giving you the right fuel that you need to carry out your day. For example, I eat 5 to 6 eggs every single day. And I have been doing that for the last 2 years. Right? Most people will be like, oh my God, too much cholesterol. Okay, cholesterol is that's such a triggering word for me now because I've interviewed the author of the book, The Great Cholesterol Myth. And before I interviewed him, I knew all of this stuff anyways, but he just basically reaffirmed what I already knew, which is the whole cholesterol thing is like when you go to your doctor and get a cholesterol test, that doesn't mean absolutely nothing because that's basically like the test they use right now to measure cholesterol is like using PlayStation, where now they've got PlayStation 5, right? It's outdated. They need to bring out the new test. So cholesterol, most people don't know anything about cholesterol. They just, see, this is the thing about health, right? Most people don't know fuck all about health, but they talk like they do because they heard someone else say this, right? Whereas people like me, I actually have to research this shit because it's my job. I have a moral obligation to people that pay me to actually tell them the truth, right? Not just hearsay. So cholesterol is the building block for all of your hormones, right? This is biochemistry right now. I'm teaching you right now. So your body makes cholesterol, right? But absent of external cholesterol, your body makes it. But external cholesterol is also very beneficial. So when people, for example, start eating more red meat, their LDL goes up. And we have been conditioned to believe by our doctors that LDL is bad. But cholesterol, there's no such thing as bad cholesterol. It's good and great cholesterol, okay? Because essentially what cholesterol is proteins being carried around the body, right? It's carrying around proteins, all right? So if you have low cholesterol, chances are you got low testosterone and you got no sex drive, right? So if you wanna reverse that, you need to increase your cholesterol, okay? Because what happens when you have a cut in your body, like cholesterol forms the reason why people think cholesterol causes heart disease is because it's present at the scene when they do a biopsy, right, of the arteries. But cholesterol is the fireman for the fire, right? So blaming cholesterol for heart disease is like saying the fireman caused the fire. It's not true. The fireman's there to save the people that are in the fire, or just to put the fire out. That's what cholesterol does. So cholesterol forms a clot around the plaque, and the plaque is not caused by cholesterol, right? The plaque in the arteries is caused by inflammation and oxidation, okay? And inflammation and oxidation are caused by sugar and vegetable oils and stress. Those three things, right? Sugar, vegetable oils, and stress. So if you're eating vegetable oils, I definitely guarantee that you've got lots of inflammation right now, okay? And this takes a long time to develop, right? So you got, for example, India, they're mostly vegetarian there, and they've got chronically high levels of heart disease. Why? Because they're all eating vegetable oils, right? And obviously they're not eating meat. But anyway, I digress. So that's step 1 is fasting. Step 2, eat nutrient-dense food. And step 3 is start doing some resistance training at least 3 times a week. Okay, when I say resistance training, let me see what Fabian wrote. Fabian's one of my clients, and he's doing amazing. He said, let me read this real quick. If you're watching this, you owe it to yourself to reach out to Aaron Darko. I'm personally working with him, and I'm in the best shape of my life and the healthiest I've ever been. I've taken up boxing, which was a childhood dream of mine. My business has grown exponentially, and it's all because of what I eat. I'm able to perform better in all areas of my life. Oi, nice one, Fabian. Thank you. Yeah, so, I mean, that's an unsolicited testimonial right now that you're reading from Fabian. So, yeah, I mean, which is why I do what I do. Like, my whole goal in my life is to spread what I know and basically be in integrity, right? Like, I'm living what I'm saying, what I'm teaching. Like, like anyone who knows me, they know that I live this stuff. Like, you can open my fridge right now and you'll see bone broth, meat, eggs, oysters, everything I'm telling you right now. So nutrient-dense food, like this is how I live my life. So for me, it's like I had the cure. I mean, I'm not going to say for cancer, but I have the cure for, how to live a healthy life where you're not worried about your health. So it would be criminal for me to not share it with people. So this is why I'm doing that. And also it helps me sleep well at night, knowing that I'm sharing my gifts with the world, right? So step 3 is strength training, right? So you want to be moving your body every day. So one of the things I get my clients to do is a compulsory joint movement, right? So we do like a morning mobility routine, and it's just literally moving your joints. So you move your neck, you move your shoulder through its full range of motion. I'm sitting down, so it's not proper, but you move your joints, right? Because if you don't move your joints every day, what's going to happen is you're going to lose the mobility in your joints, and that's going to be a knock-on effect to everything in your life, like how you move and the movements that you can or can't do, okay? So that's number 1. And number 2 is we're going to be making sure that you're getting stronger. Excuse me, there's my coconut. Making sure that you're getting stronger in the key movements that build a great physique, right? So right now I'm working with one of my clients, he wants to build bigger shoulders. So we've focused in on giving him a custom program to build out his shoulders, right? And also straight up the belly fat. But that's a process. If you follow fasting and nutrient-dense food and strength training, you add all these 3 together. It's like a combo in boxing. It's like boom, 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 knockout. Like so. It's a very, very cool thing when you just be consistent with it. And that's the thing, right? So right now, just to relate, right now I'm doing mobility training, right? So I want to improve how I move. And the coach that I was working under, he said, you're on the right track, you just need to keep going. And that's like such a nice thing to hear, because how many of us are overwhelmed with what to do? Like, I was doing yoga the other day, and there was this lady in the yoga class, and she had been practicing yoga for 10 years. And she was only a tiny bit better than me. I ain't been practicing yoga for 10 years, like literally like 2 weeks, right? Just started. But she'd been practicing for 10 years, and her form, like how she does the movements, it was only a tiny bit better than mine. So what does that tell you? That means that she's been doing the wrong shit for 10 years. And that's the worst thing. The worst thing is wasting time doing something with full motivation, full energy, but only to have the wrong strategy and be following the wrong strategy. So if you want to follow the right strategy, then you need to hit me up, because that is time wasted. 10 years of her life. Like, all the stuff that she needed to know, she learned in pretty much 2 sessions, right? Like, my friend, she helped her and she corrected like 10 years of mistakes in 2 sessions. This is the power of getting the right help, okay? And if you're watching this and you're like, yeah, you know what, I need to like really start fixing my health, then you need to understand that where you're at right now is not going to improve without external help, right? Like, I was thinking about this today in the gym. I was thinking, man, if I had a coach for every single area of my life from when I was starting out in the entrepreneur space 10 years ago, I'd be so far ahead right now, like of where I'm currently at. But I didn't have that mindset, right? Like, when you get a coach, you're speeding up your results, right? You're not guaranteeing your results, because you still got to do the work. I can't guarantee you're going to do the work, but I can guarantee that I'm going to give you the right map, right? I can guarantee I'm going to give you the right formulas to go by. Okay, now recap for those of you that are coming on is, number 1, the step to getting leaner is, number 1, start doing intermittent fasting, okay? Every single day. Number 2, start eating nutrient-dense food. And number 3, start moving your body every day, right? Like, I tell my clients, strength train 3 times a week, but move your body every day. So we have a morning mobility routine, which actually, if you type in Aaron Darko mobility routine on YouTube, you'll find it, and you can do that every single day. It's for free. I put it up there. All right, so that's pretty much it. Like, that's the formula for getting lean. And what did Fabian say here? Let's see here. I eat eggs every day. I eat oysters every day. I eat red meat every day. I drink bone broth every day. I am healthy, have less body fat than I did when I was a vegan. When I was a vegan, I had no energy. I had injuries. I was addicted to sugar. I can now take or leave sugar. Yeah, exactly. Pretty much summed up everything that I've been talking about. I don't want to bash on the vegans, but Fabian's an ex-vegan, and I have another ex-vegan client who says the same things. He's craving meat now, and he's way healthier. He's losing weight, because before he actually hired a personal trainer for 3 months, and he put on weight. How is that even possible? Like, he put on fat after hiring a personal trainer in Thailand, and he had this limiting belief for the longest time that he couldn't lose weight, and he hired me, and now he's losing weight. And so it's like, overcoming these limiting beliefs is a massive part of what I do, and I help you overcome the negative programming you have around this area. Because let me tell you, if you're watching this video, genetics aside, you can decrease your body fat, you can increase your muscle mass, you can increase your testosterone, your libido, you can improve your health, you can have all-day energy, mental clarity, you can have all these things, but you just got to get rid of the limiting beliefs and follow someone who knows what they're doing, who's getting results for their clients, and is vested in your success. Like, I care about your success. You know, I'm not going to leave you in the dark. Like, Fabian's been working with me for, like, I don't know, almost a year now. So, you know, this is a forever thing. It's not a short-term thing. Like, it starts off that way because obviously we have different packages and stuff like that. So you can check it out at healthmastery.net. But this is something that I'm, you know, my life's work pretty much. And I'm making a new program for those of you that can't afford the coaching. Which the coaching is obviously the best way to get help from me, because you get me one-on-one. But for those of you that can't afford that, I'm coming out of a program which is going to be, you know, a lot less, but it's going to be a bunch of videos, basically explaining everything that I explained to you on the coaching calls, but in the video form. So, yeah, some people want one-on-one access because, you know, a lot of my clients are very high-level entrepreneurs. They don't have much time. So, you know, they're like making 8 figures a year and stuff like that. So they want to be able to just talk to me for like 30 minutes and get their marching orders, and that's it, and check in with me once a week. So that's pretty much how we do that. So if you want that, go to healthmastery.net, or actually go to callwithaaron.net, and you can go ahead and apply right there for your free call. Or you can just DM me here on Facebook. All right, so to recap, how to get lean. Number 1, intermittent fast every day for at least 16 hours. So you're eating your meals in 8-hour windows every single day, okay? And then you can increase that to 6-hour eating window. But to start with, 8-hour window, okay? And how you do that is you push breakfast back by 1 hour each day. So for example, tomorrow, let's say you normally eat breakfast at 8 a.m. Tomorrow you eat breakfast at 9 a.m. And then next day, 10 a.m., next day, 11 a.m., next day, 12 p.m. Before you know it, you're at 1 p.m. and you haven't eaten any food and you feel good. However, the first 2 weeks, my experience, first 3 weeks, you're not going to feel that great because you're transitioning, you're getting your body used to another way of eating. You're getting your body used to spiking ghrelin, which is the hunger hormone. You're getting it used to spiking at different times, okay? And what's going to really help this is when you change up what you're eating. So step 2 is nutrient-dense food. So mainly what I'm talking about here is protein and fat. Okay, so decreasing the carbs. Most people are eating way too many carbs, not enough protein, not enough fat, which is why they have all these hormonal issues, which is why they have no muscle mass and man boobs and beer bellies, right? So we need to change up the macronutrients of what we're eating. The biggest change I can tell you right now is when you increase your protein, straight away, boom, protein's the most satiating macronutrient. So you increase your protein, boom, you realize that you don't actually need that much food, okay? Most people are grazing like cows. We're not fucking cows. Cows eat 24/7. We are not cows. We're not designed to eat 24/7. Just because McDonald's is down the road doesn't mean you have to go there. Just because we got snacks, we got all this food at our fingertips, doesn't mean we have to eat all the time. Get back to how our ancestors used to eat. Intermittent fast, which is how we're designed, okay? We eat, we feast and we fast. That's literally what my whole philosophy is. Feast and fast. I'm not doing no portion control. In fact, when I first released Alpha Shredding, that's what I was talking about. I was talking about closed fist of protein and open-handed carbs and veggie. That's outdated. That's why I don't sell the old Alpha Shredding program anymore. I could sell it to make money, but impact over income is what my philosophy is. Like I could literally sell that right now. It's online. I could go ahead and just promote, just direct traffic to it and make sales. But I don't want to do that because the information in that program is not my current philosophy, which shows my growth in the health space. Like all the stuff I used to teach 4 years ago is outdated. Like that's all the old fitness industry bullshit, like count your calories, manage your portion sizes, all that crap. That's literally how I used to think. But now, how I know what I know to be true after going from mainstream to the alternative health, which is essentially what I'm doing is telling you, hey, everything you ever thought about, everything you ever knew about nutrition is wrong. And here's why, right? And it took me 4.5 years to figure this out. So it's not like I woke up one day and was like, hey, let's eat red meat every day. Like, it's not like that, right? So it's hard for people, it's a bit of pill for people to swallow because most people don't want the truth. Like the truth at first will piss you off, but then it will set you free. So when I first discovered the truth, like, oh, fiber, okay, for example, fiber, right? The whole fiber myth, how did that originate? Who came up with this thing that we need fiber? Sylvester Graham and John Harvey Kellogg. They basically invented, like, they told people that you need to eat fiber-rich foods if you want to have low sex drive, right? So the more fiber you eat, the less sex drive you have. You can go and research that if you don't believe me, but that's literally where the whole you need fiber came from. So this is an example of a lie repeated 1,000 times. It's still a lie, but people regard it as truth. And this is the truth for most of the stuff in the health space. It's so annoying. Like, I was just listening to a podcast just now about this guy talk about how he cured his eyesight naturally, without laser surgery, without all that crap. And he basically said that glasses are actually not solving the problem. It's like if you've got a cough, you go to the chemist and they give you coughing syrup. That's not solving the problem. That's a symptom for the problem. So this is the whole industry of health is based on this, right? So imagine like people like myself are trying to get this message out like, hey, you've been told to count your calories and eat low fat. That's why you're fat. You know, like literally it's not your fault, but it's, you know, we got so many different sources telling us the same shit. So we just believe it because of course the doctor's saying it, like they're saying it. But ultimately, like if you want to have a lean body and you want to be proud of like how you look and, you know, be on the right trajectory with your health, you need to stop believing in the mainstream. I don't count calories. You don't need to, right? You just need to eat the nutrient-dense food. That's a completely different argument. Like all the fitness people are saying count calories. You're looking at all these guys who have got big muscles. Who knows what they're doing to get those results? I don't want to be on that treadmill because those guys don't move well and they're having to eat 6 meals a day and, you know, their lifestyle is, I wouldn't trade my lifestyle for theirs, right? So no to counting calories. You don't need that. Like people believe that you need that. Oh, I'm not going to eat this because it's too many calories. No, you just need to eat nutrient-dense food 90%, 80% of the time, and you'll be fine, okay? Like, eat the nutrients. Like, for example, one of my clients, he said, I was eating to live instead of living, sorry, I was living to eat instead of eating to live. And that's a whole mindset shift. He said that I was eating for pleasure instead of eating for fuel, right? So if you're eating for pleasure, which most people were like, oh, it tastes so good, oh, but they don't care about the nutrients they're getting, they just want it to taste good. This is why the fake meat is growing. Like, the fake meat is absolute bullshit. Like, people eat fake meat, and they are so, you know, they just focus on the taste. Oh, it tastes just like meat. Actually, what the fuck's in that shit? Like, have you looked at the ingredients? Have you looked at, like, there's a study showing that, like, the Impossible Burger is, like, very, very cancerous. There's some of the ingredients in there. Like, people don't care about that. They just look at the surface. Like, oh, it tastes good. Tastes just like meat, so I'm going to buy it. Healthy. There's no meat in it. It's man-made bullshit you're eating. Anyway, I digress. So, yeah, essentially, the summary is do intermittent fasting, eat in 8-hour windows every day, eat nutrient-dense food, eat real food, food that comes from mainly the animal kingdom because it's very high in nutrients. And number 3 is move your body every day and strength train 3 times a week. Okay. Notice that I didn't mention cardio. You don't actually need to do cardio, but there is some sort of cardio that I recommend, which is actually called reverse cardio, which is where you're walking backwards on the treadmill or walking backwards in the park. And that's a video for another day. But that's really good cardio, and it's actually strengthening your joints and improving your balance and all that kind of stuff. But yeah. That's the video. I hope you enjoyed. And again, if you want more help from myself, go to callwithaaron.net or go to healthmastery.net, either one. You can go ahead and check it out and apply for your free call, or you can just DM me here on Facebooks. All right, thanks Fabian if you're still on, and anyone else who's watching. I hope you found this helpful. I'm heading out. I'm lean every single day. Been like this for the last 4.5 years. 2 years ago is when my health went to the next level with finding out everything, all the truths about nutrition. You know, so this is why I changed my philosophy on where I stand with health based on what I was doing and how I was helping all my family as well. So, for example, my mom, for example, she's also a testimonial of mine. I helped her switch up what she was eating. She's a cyclist. She cycles 100 kilometers every couple of weeks with her cycling club, and she actually improved her time with her racing based on the tweaks in her nutrition that I gave her. Because, you know, in the cycling space, that's a whole nother video, but like the whole, you need carbs for performance, and there is truth to that, but what I've experienced is if you just have enough protein and fat, you'll be fine. Because protein and fat is like, it's like burning coal versus burning twigs. Carbs run out very fast, but coal, protein and fat, especially fat, lasts for a long time. All right. So anyway, I'm keep on talking about. I could talk forever about this stuff. If you got any questions, let me know. If not, then hit me up on DM or go to callwithaaron.net, book your free call, and I'll see you soon. Over and out. Bye.